some time to talk about self-energy and create some understanding of what that is and how to use that to increase internal validation and internal trust. So to help me with this description, I'm going to use the IFS flip chart, which I love. Okay. It does a really great job to break down the concepts of internal family systems and the concepts of self-energy. Internal family systems, or IFS, does an incredible job to discuss the self and self-energy. And so I'm just going to read from this flip chart. What is the self? The self with a capital S is the seat of consciousness, the essential you. I love IFS because it's an understanding that this lives in every single person. Every single person has a capital S. It's the point of light at your core that was there the moment your life began and will always be there. This light has never been touched by any mistreatment you have suffered. However hurt, wounded, and powerful parts can eclipse the self when they get triggered. Much like clouds covering the sun on overcast days, these parts can make the self hard to find. Just like you know the sun is still there, you can be sure the self is still there underneath all your parts. If you have suffered severe abuse, it may seem impossible to imagine that self exists within you. However, every human being has a self that is inexhaustible source of love that cannot be destroyed. What a beautiful definition of the big self. So now that we understand that this capital S self lives within every single one of us, within ourselves, we can work to understand the energy of this and how that energy can then increase our own intuition, our own self-love, and our own self-trust. The 9 C's, as described in IFS as the self-energy, are 1, curiosity, 2, calm, 3, clarity, 4, connectedness, 5, confidence, 6, courage, 7, creativity, 8, compassion, 9, choice. In another video, we will spend some time exploring these 9 C's, and I can give you some more description, understanding of what these C's entail. And for this video, really we're going to emphasize focusing on what shows up when you are moving through your day. And when these 9 C's are in play, how you can support your intuition and your self-trust and self-love. You can use this tool in any moment that it feels right to do so. And it's taking the pause, giving yourself a deep breath if you need to exit the space, going to the bathroom, getting some room from who you may be around, locking your office door, just getting a little privacy going into your car, and exploring what energy you're sitting in, and recognizing when you're feeling outside of these 9 C's that you are blended with a part. And so we do this by asking ourselves, how do I feel towards the circumstance? If I'm feeling distrust, mistrust, anger, reactivity, I can work to understand that that's coming from a part. When I am feeling those feelings of mistrust and insecurity and anxiousness, working to understand how I even feel towards that part. And again, if I am outside of these 9 C's, I understand that I am blended with other parts of my mind and my internal family world. If our answer is more of a blended response, I'm feeling really anxious and triggered and angry and reactive, sad, or I'm judging myself and criticizing myself, those are the times to use some other tools to get grounded and work towards one of the 9 C's that feels the most safe and comfortable. I find that curiosity is, out of all of them, sort of the easiest one to move into. If we can work without judgment and criticism to sort of be curious and interested in ourselves and our reactivity or our responses to the stimulus, then we can work to entice more positive energy and understanding, which will then lead to deeper compassion. And this leads to the use of the 6 F's. So good. So find, focus, flesh out, feel towards, and befriend. Oh, and fears. So determine what part you want to focus on and what part needs your attention first. Focus inside and see where you notice the part in or around your body. Pause and allow the part to reveal itself to you. Any sensation, feeling, image, or thought is information. Flesh out. What do you notice about this part? Does it have color, texture, or shape? Do you hear it or sense it in some other way? Is this part close by or far off in the distance? And this is the important part. This is the part that we don't move to the next 2 parts until we can invoke some of the 9 C energies. How do you feel towards this part? Assess the presence of self energy by asking yourself, how do you feel towards it? Do you feel open to it or closed? Are you curious to know more about it, or do you want to move away from it? Once we feel a sense of curiosity, compassion, caring energy, something from those 9 C's, then we move into befriending it. Let the target part know that you would like to know more about it. Ask it to share what it wants you to know. Some questions are, how did the part get this job? How old is this part? How old does the part think you are? Is the part aware of you? Is the part willing to connect with you? As you befriend this part, listen to, honor, and validate its experience. And the last is fears. Explore this part's fears. What is it afraid would happen if it stopped doing its job? What does this part really want for you? When doing this exercise, it's really important to give yourself the gift of breath, the gift of pausing, compassion, in through your nose and out through your mouth, really working to extend the stomach and sending those relaxation messages to the brain and to the nervous system.